Hey, you guys, welcome. Welcome, Pam and Kathy. Yeah, I've been to Perry, Florida one time in my life. I was a kid, and we went fishing there. We caught a bunch of blue crabs on fishing lines off of the dock. Wait till everybody piles in. Not that picture. So, what are you ladies doing in Perry tonight? Are you going out squatching tomorrow? Hey, Tommy boy, welcome. Yeah, I love this picture. I think, even though it's a blurry picture, it's incredibly clear, for what it is. Oh, okay. Stacy Brown. Yeah. I heard he was coming out with a new movie. I don't know if it ever released or not, frankly. Hey, D-Rob, what's happening? It's going. We're just getting warmed up. I think the only thing I ever saw from Stacy Brown was that I guess it was IR footage of the Bigfoot running through the woods there in the Florida Panhandle. I say that's all I ever saw from him. It was good footage. Yeah, man. Kick back, D-Rob, and we'll look at a few pictures tonight. Not feeling the most energetic myself, but we'll get there. So tonight's a little different than you guys are used to. Usually, I will make the new video, and then we'll go over the pictures again during the live. This week's a little different, whereas there is a new video out, but this particular set of pictures has pictures from that video and from an upcoming video. So it's a little different tonight. What kind of mushrooms you out there hunting for, Tommy boy? Be careful. Yeah. Kathy and Pam. If you, it was that storm, that hurricane that came in. Was it last year? It flooded Cedar Key. That was right there. Perry's right in the same area. I mean, I believe it. So you were not in a cow pasture, is that what you're telling me, Tommy? As far as hard as I find that to believe, I've only ever known you as a man of your word, so I'll take your word on that. D-Rob, I've never heard of that place. I assume that's a place. I mean, of course, there are tons of skunk ape sightings in Mississippi, though. In fact, one of them, oh man, the guy's name just fell out of my head, but the famous skunk ape footage of the skunk ape like digging for grubs in a tree, like a rotten tree, and then it stands up and the guy takes off running. I mean, that footage is just as real as anything, you know. Definitive proof as far as I'm concerned. I cannot remember that guy's name, but it's good footage. What are you talking, Tommy? Too early in the day? Too early in the season? What are we talking about here? I think you're talking about the season. So you know what season. I knew you were up to something. What else we got in here? Man. Have you guys saw that this picture has come back around? Abbott Hoffman, welcome. Whose arms are too short? Yours? I'm sorry to hear that, dude. This picture came back around. We did it a long time ago, like maybe at least 10 videos ago, if not more. And it got emailed to me recently. And it's going back around claiming that it's from British Columbia, you know. And if you guys remember the last time, during that video when we actually analyzed this, we figured out that on the forehead of this quote-unquote creature, there's letters. So look right here. You'll see, I believe you're seeing an M and a D or an O, possibly a K and an O. Not entirely sure, but from here it looks like MD. So either it's some sort of watermark on a picture, or the mask itself, the face itself has these like imprints on it. You know, this, I don't know exactly what to call them. Hang on. I gotta show this. Normally I would hide stuff like this. But Abbott Hoffman says, "Least my dick ain't too short like yours." And that's a brilliant comeback. Congratulations. I'm afraid that you've used all of your brain cells coming up with that one though. So you're out now. And I would have some choice words, but I'm more of a gentleman. Stole my show. He stole it. Good job. Anyway, asshole. Why are all Bigfoot pictures blurry? You know, that's a tough question to answer, Adam. I mean, the reason that I usually fall back on is that, are you not gone yet? I thought you were gone already. There you go. You're in timeout, dickhead. The reason I usually fall back on is, you know, dude, if you were out in the woods and a deer went running by, you would like reach in your pocket, get your cell phone out, you would turn on the camera app, you know, it would take a second for it to like settle itself and try to focus, and you would get some blurry ass end of a deer that went running by. So when you're talking about a creature that is elusive and does not care to be photographed for whatever reason, you stand little chance of getting great photography of these creatures. So yeah, I challenge you to just unexpectedly take a picture, because most people don't go out in the woods. Most people, other than Kathy, most people don't go out in the woods with a camera on their shoulder looking for Bigfoot. They're just out there randomly, you know, taking a hike or something, and they see something that they can't explain. They pull a camera out of their pocket and they take a very poor picture, and that's just the way it goes. Natchez Trace, is that how you say that? D-Route? I've never heard of the place. I'll have to do some research into it. I'm curious, but yeah, no, I've never heard of it. So anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this picture, but I'm willing to put this picture to bed just based on the lettering on the forehead of this creature. I think it's some sort of mask. I don't know exactly what it is. I don't think it's anything real, though. I would be willing to believe that anything in Mississippi is haunted. That's a place that has some negative energy, you know? Yeah, I think, I don't know if he was the first one to come up with the idea, but Scott Carpenter was, I think, the first person to, actively, consistently wear a rear-facing shoulder cam. And he caught the creature, which is widely believed in Scott Carpenter's camp to be a dogman. Um, it's interesting. Whatever, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it's a dogman, but it is interesting. And I did talk to Scott Carpenter, before he passed away, and he seemed, like a pretty straight up guy. But I don't know. Never really knew what to think about that. Some things are just not going to show up very well on this camera on screen action we've got going on here. But this was a guy, he kept catching things like happening on his property, so he had decided to set up some cameras, and he came up with this guy, which looks fairly legit to me. You can see the legs and stuff, you can make out some body definition, although it's a shitty cam and it's far away, so what are you gonna do, The most unrealistic creature to me is probably the Jersey Devil. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I mean, they've got some weird little, like, cryptids out there, like those things in California that are like only legs. Those things are freaking weird too. But I think that the Jersey Devil, some winged goat, just pushes all sorts of boundaries that I'm not willing to cross. You want to talk about chupacabra, okay. Even the Flatwoods Monster, I think that's an underrated cryptid. But yeah. Jersey Devil is my pick. Oh, Cryptid Cooper, welcome. Bat Squatch. Yeah, I guess, is that a real thing? I kind of thought that was. I know that Rogue made a beer out of it. I guess that's a cryptid. I kind of thought that was almost more of a joke, like lore, like unicorn status. But I guess that's true. I guess it is a cryptid creature. Yeah, that one is a little silly. Hey, there's Kathy. Hello. Oh, Cryptic Cooper. Sorry, I mispronounced your name. I thought it was Cryptid Cooper. I looked down and just quickly made an assumption. Stick around here. We will see some of Kathy's new ones as well, but I had to throw in some stuff that I came across today in the archives. Really? Now, see, that's funny you say that, D-Rob. I don't even question the existence of Mothman. I absolutely think that is true. Hello, Heather. Welcome. The funny thing about Mothman, it was literally just reported for like 18 months. Like, something happened in Point Pleasant, Virginia. If you go to Point Pleasant, there's a concrete bunker that's just outside of town, and it's all graffitied up now and stuff. But they believe that they were using that area as for like government testing. The government tests all sorts of weird stuff that we don't really know about. And so they were doing this government testing to see if they could build this, maybe super soldier or something to that effect. The prototype gets out and just runs amok for like 18 months and destroys cars and just lands on cars as people are driving, and just there was all sorts of sightings of this thing in the same area for 18 months. And then all of a sudden, poof, the thing disappears. Ideally, the government got their prototype back and probably dispatched of it quickly. And then people say that there's been sightings after that. Yeah, well, people lie too. I mean, we can't say that every single sighting is true or false. So that's all I have to say about that one. I hope that explained whatever question you were looking for. Hello, Skeeter. They say that you never know when a skeeter's going to bite you, so be careful. If you guys don't remember, this picture was sent to Dave Paulides. And he came back, with a theory that it was some type of demonic creatures, not really human necessarily. Obviously, there's two creatures in the picture. They both have taptum lucidum. That's kind of terrifying to me. But instead of demonic, I would lean more towards feral human. If you take a feral a human that has lived in cave systems their whole life and maybe generations, I think it's fair to say that they would adapt, and they would adapt to echolocation and taptum lucidum, So. Well, let's see what else we have to say. Yeah, Abe Sias. This is not a new picture. In fact, I was going to ask you, Kathy. Kathy is Bigfoot World to anybody that is new here, but Kathy, she's a regular. Have you heard from Dutchy Beliefs lately? She just fell off of the radar completely. And I was just curious. I haven't seen any new pictures come out of that camp. Nothing. Anyway, this is Abe Sias. Abe's he's an interesting guy. He's got some weird shots, this being one of them. I mean, obviously you can see the facial features of this creature here. He's the kind of guy that believes in Nephilim and, manifesting creatures. I think he what does he call them? Disembodied demonic Nephilim. So DDN is what he calls them. I'm not going to say anything about the man's beliefs. It is what it is. He can believe whatever he wants to believe. I don't personally believe in that necessarily, but that's just me. I mean, whatever. A guy can believe whatever he wants. I was talking to a friend of mine. He thought the reason why we thought body Bigfoot is possibly they dragged it off the dead and consumed them, kind of like. So, D-Rob, don't ever apologize for asking questions. It's fine. Like, we love questions around here. And yeah, so why have we never found a Bigfoot body? If you go back to some of my videos of ramblings of a madman, you'll hear subjects like this. And First of all, not every creature that has ever died fossilizes. That's a myth. People often say, well, why aren't there any fossils? Well, there aren't fossils for many creatures. We widely know of the chimpanzee creature, and we have two fossils. Two fossilized pieces of bone, by the way, not like whole body fossils. Two little tiny pieces of bone. So let's just rule out the fact that, okay, we've never found a fossilized Sasquatch body. Yeah, that's fine. Are they subterranean? Do they live in cave systems that we do not have access to? Extremely possible. Very possible that is where their dead lie. Do they bury their dead? Also very possible. Do they cannibalize their dead? Also very possible. We have a very limited understanding of the creature and how they operate, so everything that we say is pure speculation. Welcome, Gary. So the only, yeah, I have. I've heard many accounts, and again, my belief on Dogman is extremely sketchy and on the fence, but I've heard of those two creatures being very intertwined, not quite like pets, but like friends. And then you have the Seven Shoots monster. That creature is believed to be holding a dog in that picture. So if you haven't seen the Seven Shoots monster, I encourage you to go look it up. But yeah, it looks like he possibly kidnapped a dog and kept it as a pet. I've heard of, it seems like I've heard randomly of goats hanging out with a Bigfoot at some point. I can't remember where that came from though. So yeah, there are stories of Bigfoots having pets. I mean, sure, why wouldn't they? They don't seem to have a great relationship with dogs. They kill dogs. And they eat them, I think dogs also bark a lot and blow their cover, so they'd be quick to kill a dog. And coyotes, they have a weird relationship with coyotes. It's like they don't necessarily like them, but they feed off of each other as far as warning systems, and prey is over here and that sort of thing, so. And I think it's just like anything, like hyenas. Like, say if the hyena can't take down, a pack of coyotes can't take down a cow, but a Bigfoot can. And so then maybe the coyotes get the spoils, afterwards, the leftovers. I don't know. They have a weird kinship. There's a story that comes out of Africa of these meerkats. The meerkats will come out in the morning and they'll get the big juicy grubs and the insects, right? And so there's eagles overhead and big snakes and stuff like that, and the crows will caw if there's anything like dangerous coming, and the meerkats will just run back in the holes. And this is, it's true. They're in danger, but then sometimes the crows will caw and all the meerkats will run away and the crows will go down and get the big fat juicy insects. So it's a weird relationship where it's like, yeah, I'm protecting you, but I'm also getting a food source out of you. Bobby Short. Okay. Oh, thank you, Tommy Boy. Yeah, I know we were talking about that last time, weren't we? Are you serious, Tommy? I've never heard that one. Whew. Yeah. There's a lot of reasons that could be that I won't divulge in on YouTube, but yeah, I get it. Hey, welcome, Brian. Yeah, sure. I mean, it's obviously um, different every creature, every situation, right? We can speculate all we want to, but there are so many stories out there that I don't want to say contradict each other, but just sort of um, depict different behavior from different creatures, you know? This is a weird creature. This is one of Kathy's Bigfoot World. Not the best out of this group, obviously, but this is still, I thought was interesting. I have some really, I'll tell you what, Bigfoot World has come up with some seriously interesting IR photos lately. Like at least three that are pretty like, whoa, you know. And I do believe I have them with me tonight, so I want to. James, what's his name? Whitfield. He was filming. I thought this one was interesting enough, and I'll tell you what, this setup here with the phone is not giving this picture justice. But this was Sasquatch Omega, and he's got some pretty interesting photos. You know, I told the guy to his face. I said, you know, you're an arrogant sob. I was like, and that's why you get a lot of flack from people. But that doesn't every. But a lot of his pictures are extremely like legit. Like they look really good. But I don't know. You know, he's just one of those guys that kind of rubs you the wrong way, I guess. But I don't have a problem with him. You know, but go check out his page on Facebook. He's got some really interesting stuff. Yeah, Brian, you're absolutely right. That's a crazy 911 call, by the way. If you guys haven't heard that, the guy just he refuses to say that it's a Bigfoot. He just says that a big 10-foot black hairy creature, you know, his dog went over the fence to go at it, I guess, and the dog was like just yeeted like 30 feet into the air and like landed in his yard dead, like with a broken neck, you know. I'm sorry to hear that about his dog, you know, but yeah, I feel like that was probably a self-defense sort of thing and sort of like a warning too. Uh, this is Snuffy Dyer. A lot of you guys know Snuffy. He's been around for a minute. This one to me, again, there's no speculation of a dog man on this one. It's a little unique for a Sasquatch face, but I'm just gonna fall back on what else could it be, you know. Uh, I want to say, I believe this one is also Sasquatch Omega. Oh, you said you just sent it to me? Okay. Excuse me. Oh, Brian, that is interesting, man. Let me show you guys real quick what Brian just sent. How cool is that? That's a neat shot, Brian. Brian, if you're cool with that, we will use that in our next cryptids video. Yeah, absolutely. That's an awesome shot, Brian. D-Rob, so I don't sounds like Omega. I don't know, Alpha Omega, the beginning and the end. Um, that's the name of his channel is Sasquatch Omega. So I don't know. As far as what is Bigfoot, I've been so torn about that subject, man. I have went up in the air numerous times on different things. Is it an undiscovered primate? Unclassified by science. Is it? I don't believe it's. I don't believe they're aliens by any stretch. Um, are they from some other dimension? Maybe. I try to stay logical. Try to keep my feet on the ground about the subject. So as of right now, I'm on the undiscovered primate. Explanation. Okay, I'm gonna take note of that, Brian. Because as long as everyone's cool, I would love to use the picture. It's excellent. Honestly, you guys, I'm not entirely sure who this is. It's weird. The picture's not marked. It looks like Dennis Herstad's style. But look at that. Just a clear facial shot. You know what? I think that's oh my goodness. What was her name? Sorry guys, it's been a long day. I cannot remember her name. But anyway, I'll get it sorted out for the video. Kathy, it's going to drive me nuts. Who's the woman from New Zealand? The hell is her name? And for some reason, it just fell out of my head. I can't think tonight. Thank you, Katherine Norris. Good God, yes, Katherine Norris. I'm almost certain this is her picture. I didn't mark it, which I normally do, but I'm almost positive. I remember when I saw it thinking, it's excellent, but it's not the typical shot that she takes. You know, it's like hers are a little different, but this one in particular was very impressive. It's just at the face. Look above. You mean like physically in the... Oh. Oh, shit, Kathy. I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah, because there's potentially something going on here, but yeah, that guy right there, and definitely right here. Wow, that's just the picture that keeps on giving, huh? I had an interesting thought tonight, and I'm going to share it with you guys, and you guys give me your feedback. What if there is no such thing as pareidolia? So, just back up for a second. So pareidolia is the scientifically recognized phenomenon of our mental, I'll say ability, but it's more like all right, we'll just stick with ability. To recognize faces in the bush to avoid ambush, and it comes from our Neanderthal stage. A lot of things do. People don't realize how many things actually stem from that stage of our existence. But so anyway, you know, it's why we see Jesus on toast. It's why we see, you know, dragons and clouds, and why we see face in the bush. So if you pull up any, you know, picture of any woods, almost anywhere, you can probably pick out 10 or so, you know, faces. So again, my question is, what is this one, Cass? This is Rebecca. Oh, I didn't see anything in that picture. Well, I take it back. I did see this. This is Rebecca Rollison, by the way. This is a Bigfoot World picture. I am not sure what to make of this picture. It's very interesting though. Anyway, back to my point. So, what if, and this is a big what if, I'm just throwing it out there. What if the scientifically recognized phenomenon of pareidolia does not exist? It's not a thing. That means that every face that you've ever seen in the bush is real to some extent. Because look, I'm a pretty logical person and I'm a scientific person. But one of the things that's great about science is that they're wrong all the time. And they admit when they're wrong. And they change it. So just because science says that something is some way, we're not forced to believe that that's the only way it can possibly be. It's just the most likely that we understand. I don't know. I like that picture though. I think we'll use that this week. All right, here we go. Kathy Westerman, Bigfoot World, coming through with yet another amazing shot. Now this is IR footage. Kathy, what makes you decide to shoot in IR during the day? As opposed to, I think IR is typically recognized as a nighttime ability to photograph, but you're using IR during the day. This is an amazing catch. I mean, was the creature, I guess that's my question, was this creature there physically, visibly, or it only showed up on IR footage? Oh shit! I'm sorry, guys. I gotta laugh about it right now. I right before we went live, we spent the afternoon getting this kitten, beautiful little gray kitten with white feet, and he's just an awesome little kitten. And my girl couldn't find him. You know, like he had just kind of vanished. And it was just getting to the point where it was like desperation. Like I couldn't breathe. She's crying, you know, it was terrible. And then all of a sudden she finds him. He was stuck in the entertainment center. I guess, you know, like I don't know if he started crying or what, but she found him. So we can all breathe now that the cat is accounted for. Yeah, it does look like almost like. All right, let me just get. I'm gonna get crazy here, okay? It looks like the creature is carrying an alligator, right? And I know that's probably outside of the realm here. It's probably a little crazy. If a Bigfoot walked by you carrying an alligator, you would probably recognize it. You would probably see it, but being that it's IR footage, I don't know what that means. If that means that it's only visible in IR because of whatever the hell Bigfoot's up to. But anyway, I'm just saying that's what it looks like from here. And if any of you are wondering what the hell I'm talking about, like to me, this looks like a alligator, like the snout of an alligator and the eyes and the bulk, etc. And like I said, that's probably way off base. You know, Pam, one time I had someone tell me, I don't want to mention names because this is going to sound derogatory, but someone told me that they were born with pareidolia sight. And I thought, my goodness, what an arrogant comment to make. Like other people in the world don't have pareidolia. You know, it's like they weren't born with it. I think some people can hone in on it, you know, and sort of embrace it and accept it better than others. But to say that you were born with pareidolia sight, um, to me, just you're trying to set yourself apart from other, like everyone else. You know what I'm saying? And that's just, to me, that's not a thing. Kathy's got a couple more. We haven't even got there yet. Interesting. Interesting stuff again here from Sasquatch Omega. Shannon Miller has posted a couple things, maybe three. I'm going to use this one in our upcoming video. I think it's very interesting. I don't exactly know what it is. It looks like a puppy. It looks like some little dog creature. Very cool shot in the bush. Never met James. He seems like an interesting guy. Kathy, what's the date of the Bigfoot conference this year in Florida? June something, right? Thank you, Pam. June 8th. God, I keep wishing that I could commit to it, but unfortunately, right now I cannot. Oh no, what happened? Kathy, have you seen this in that same picture? I mean, that really looks like something to me. You can almost see like a little hand in front of the face, as well as the facial features, you know?
Oh, there you go. Oh, there you are.
You're good, D Rob. Welcome back. Yeah, I don't know, Kathy. Um, I think obviously what is circled is interesting because you've got like this almost like they almost look like gesture masks, which are really just facial features. But like this one here, there's a huge frown on this creature, and there might be more than one creature. Like up to the right there, there might be something out. Sorry, I'm having a hard time with this particular picture. You know, I haven't cropped any of these. I just throwing them in here raw. Yeah, I'm stuck on this guy in the corner though. That to me, that's fantastic. That's a real shot right there. I mean, yeah, the other one I think is cool too, and I think it's a real creature. Um, but um, I think this guy is the star of the show. Yeah, you're right, D Rob. It does. It looks like a juvenile. I think that's exactly what it is. It's very cute almost, you know, it has a cute face. Kathy, what do you believe this creature is? Do you think this a skunk ape? Or is this I know you have different outlooks on these things as far as what they could be, as far as spiritual or feral human. Yeah, no, it does, Cooper. It looks like it has a little hand coming up right just to the right of the mouth. You'll see, like, I can see like three or four fingers, and you'll see the little mouth right there. nose, and I'm gonna say this again. I know I sound like a broken record, but what impresses me about pictures when they're blurry is that you can see, if you can see nostrils, and you can see nostrils right there. See, it's like, to me, that's what separates pareidolia from a real picture. Pareidolia, like I said, you can see Jesus in toast all day, but when you see a detail like nostrils, that's a detail. That's not something our mind is making up, you know. And I mean, he's got, obviously, eye there, and a cranial ridge. So to me, this would be a juvenile, skunk ape, Sasquatch, whatever. Yeah, just a very cool shot. Very cool shot. Um, D Rob, I would suggest, if you have not went on Facebook and joined Bigfoot World, I would highly suggest that you do. As cool as this picture is, this is not. It's the tip of the iceberg as far as the content that they're putting out into the world. So I would suggest, and they have a YouTube as well. So please hop over there. Everybody, hop over to Bigfoot World and subscribe. You will see pictures like this and more, much more. So. All right, I'm not gonna spend our whole night on that one, but it's a great picture. Great job, Kathy. Great job. I want to keep moving real quick. I want to come back here, but there's just a couple things. I think. All right, we saw this one already. Okay, this is one more of Bigfoot World. If you've not seen this one. I've zoomed in quite a bit. I get that, so forgive me for that. But what you're looking at there on the left-hand side of the picture is a tree. You can almost see the straight line of the tree come down here. But what we're seeing here is the face of a creature. By the way, how cute is he? Look at him. His little white paws. What a cute little baby boy he is. I don't think he has a name yet. We adopted him as Kentucky, but I think he's in for a name change. Just want to share. He's so cute. Tommy boy, thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate the donation. Makes me feel like it's all worth it. I do appreciate it, sir. Thank you. Slippers. Yeah. He's a sweet little boy. It's funny because we actually went there to adopt a different kitten, a little girl, and she was a sweetheart. When we got there, this guy here he made a bond. You know, he was just very sweet, and we made that decision. You know, he was the one. So Felix, that's cute. All right, I want to go back a minute. I was kind of anxious to get to a few of Bigfoot World's shots. I like to, when I have an audience that's listening, I like to stay on that same train. You know what I'm saying? But there are some other pictures that we saw. I'm going to use this one this week. Boise, Idaho posted this one, and I think it's cool. There's a whole story that comes with this. I might post the story too. But so riding in a car through the Washoe Front outside of Ogden, Utah. 2010. The valley, this photo is on plan. I really not know. See, this is cool. This is another situation where it's like I wasn't trying to take a picture of this creature. I was just taking a picture of the snow, etc., etc. But you get one of these shots, you know? Now, Tommy, if you get this camper, aside from all the mushroom taking, obviously, that's going to happen, what's the plan? Are we going out? Are you going out to the woods in your area? Are you going to travel? What's going on? Okay, so here's Simon Joe that claims that Bigfoot are interdimensional, which is not really an unpopular opinion, honestly. I mean, I don't know that I'm fully on that train myself, but it's widely accepted as a possibility, you know? Simon, do you have anything like, I don't want to say pertinent, really, that sounds rude, but I mean, do you have anything to bring to the table? Personal experience, maybe, anything, why you believe that? I know there are a lot of people that believe that, and that's fine, but I always want to know why. Why do you believe that? And I try not to poo on people's beliefs, you know, but okay. So Simon Joe, Simon Joe has some personal experience with the subject, so that's cool. Oh, while in Vietnam. Okay, the plot thickens. Hold on a second. So, what do you know about rock apes? Is that the same creature that we're talking about here? That's a very good point, Brian. Yes, sir. Thank you for your service. We appreciate that. Sometimes I forget I'm of the age where Vietnam is an incredible subject for me, and I love it. I love the subject. But sometimes I forget that people actually lived through it, if that makes sense, and were in it. So for that, I apologize. Very cool, Tommy. I would love to have an RV to be able to travel. In fact, there's been times in my life I've considered actually living in a van, but my girl's not really down for all that, so I gotta kind of follow her lead, on that, if you get what I'm saying. But I like the romantic idea of it, where you're just completely free. You travel the country, and let's be honest, you have access to at least three countries. Um, I say at least three countries. Um, and you can just travel, North America, South America, Canada, wherever you want to go. And you're not paying rent, you're not subject to the man as much and stuff like that. Of course, the problem really comes from pooping. Where does a man poop when he lives in a van? Um, then you're looking at gas stations and Walmarts and things like that. It's like, as a man, I guess I don't really care as much, but when you have a female with you, you don't want to tell your girl, sorry, you gotta poop at the Sunoco every time you gotta go. Yeah, I believe you, Greg. I believe you. I've heard a lot of accounts from Minnesota. That's so far north, so far wooded area. Just, oh man, that's got to be like a Sasquatch haven. Yeah, exactly, Tommy. I mean, you know, look, you and I are in charge of our destiny just as far as the love of our females, go. So, I mean, I would like to do things that I'm not necessarily going to do with her in tow, so I got to keep that in mind. Wow. Well, this is a hell of a story, Simon. Thank you for sharing that. I think we all believe that, Simon. So, we don't know everything that's out there and what's going on in the world, but we all know that, you know, we're not getting everything here. It's okay, Brian. There's an old saying that goes, you know, I wear the pants in the family, but she picks them out. And that's okay. So you're both in charge in your own way. So I think there has to be a balance. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you joining us. You're welcome anytime. Now we do this. We do this every other Friday. So 2 Fridays a month we go live, and we all get here and we all talk shit and we drink and we enjoy ourselves. And we talk about Bigfoot and whatever else we want to talk about. Aside from that, you'll see we do videos. You know, we try to do one once a week, that sort of thing. A lot of crazy content that you can get involved in. So. Funny you say that, Simon. Let's see if you stick around for here just a second. Here it is. This picture right here, although, you know, somebody added the big red arrow to it. I don't know. Whatever. People do weird shit. This is supposed to be from Salt Fork. And I have heard so much shit about Salt Fork. Man, I would love to go there. I have no other reason to visit Ohio, frankly. But I'm not saying this is real, by the way, but this is from Salt Fork, so it's interesting timing. Alright. Cute kitty alert. Cute kitty. Cute kitty. Sorry. Simon Joe, that is where this show is produced and directed and everything else you want to say. Daytona Beach, my friend. That is where we hail from. Yeah, that's our new addition to the family, Brian. Our little sweet kitty. We lost him for a little while today, but he popped back up. Well, Tommy, if you ever get down to Melbourne, let me know, man. I'm a couple hours north of Melbourne. I'll tell you, we just found a local spot, and I don't know if any of you people are gonna have a chance to get there, but maybe. There's this place called uh, Canaveral Shore, and it's not near Cape Canaveral, which that's famous for the rocket launches and whatever else. This is on the ass end of New Smyrna Beach, and you got to pay like there's like a weekly thing for $25. You can do a yearly thing for like $45, whatever. It's a national state park, and there's about I'd say 4 or 5 walking trails. Now understand, this is not a huge area. On one side you have the ocean, then you have some parking lots, then you have the road. On the other side you have some walking trails. And so you're sandwiched in between the ocean and the intercoastal. But to walk, I don't know, maybe a mile and to land at the intercoastal is kind of cool. So it's a very cool place. We ended up walking all the trails there recently last week, and I think we're going to get one of those year passes and end up going to the beach there. The beaches are a lot less crowded than your typical Daytona Beach, beach bullshit where everyone's like grilling and playing loud music and stuff like that. I like the beach. I don't like people. I like you people. Don't get me wrong, but not if you're at the beach. Yeah, Simon. There's a fish camp down there in Oak Hill. There's a fish camp down there in Oak Hill. Volume just popped on for some reason. Um, Mosquito Lagoon, I think is what it's called. We went there one weekend. I mean, I must have caught like 10 sail catfish. Nice place. I don't know if you ever do that thing where you pour your drink over ice and all your ice solidifies at the bottom, like ice crystals. That's where I'm at right now in life, trying to break that up. Funny you say that, Brian. We just had a discussion recently. My girl and I, my Q, is the woman in my life. We had a discussion about whether you have to be on the ocean to have a beach. You know, and I personally was like, of course. I'm like, a beach is not a beach if you're not on the ocean. Like that's, you have a shore, you have whatever else you have on a lake or on a river, river bank. But I was like, but beaches are not. So anyway, it turns out that I was completely wrong. Beaches are also considered beaches on river sides, lake sides, pond sides, and ocean. So who the hell knew that? Yeah, those are also considered beaches. Yeah, yeah. I tell you what, they're all down here. They're all down here right now. Don't let me get on my soapbox. Seriously. There are so many people in Volusia County right now. Um, they're all here from everywhere, literally from like New York, New Jersey, the Carolinas. Um, Apparently, Tennessee and Colorado are suffering the same thing because of the no state tax. And I mean, we've had 200,000 people move into Volusia County in the last 2 years. So our quiet little beach town, it's always a tourist town. I mean, like, during certain times of the year you have tourists, bike week, Jeep Beach, whatever. But I mean, now it's like, my God, every time you leave the house, it's 45 minutes to get to Walmart. So it's getting crazy. I'm ready to buy some property out in the middle of nowhere and just be by myself. Well, be by ourselves, obviously. Um, this is not. I don't like city living. Cryptid Cooper, I have been to that very same museum in Cherry Log, Georgia. Bigfoot Expedition Bigfoot. Sorry. In fact, I have a Bigfoot sticker on the back of my truck that came from that very location. Now, the funny thing about that is, if you're ever in the area, you should go plop down your $13 and go check it out. It's fine. It's very touristy. None of the shit in there is real. Um, but it's still fun. It's a fun place to go, and you should go and check it out. And I will give them my recommendation. Although, yeah, don't think that you're going in there to see like some real Bigfoot shit that you've never seen before. It's not quite like that. Yeah, Simon. I mean, property tax, property value. I mean, dude, you can't get a house down here for under, 300 grand, and you're talking about a 2 bedroom, 2 bath, and it's crazy here right now. Now is the time to sell and leave, not the time to buy for sure. Old but they party. I get it, Brian. And it's funny because it's America, man. You can't really begrudge anyone for moving to a certain. That's why we live in America. So if you don't like the state laws, you can move to a different state. But the problem is that with with the COVID restrictions, or I should say lack of COVID restrictions here in Florida, we started getting an influx from New York like years ago, and then all of a sudden they started realizing, hey, there's no state tax down here. Shit. So then all of a sudden you get all these freaking people moving, man. And I mean, we're shooting up apartment complexes like Dollar Generals, and what happens there is you don't have the infrastructure, the water, the schools, the roads, the sewage. You don't have any of that stuff to support. But these greedy freaking politicians are like, yeah, let them come on in, build this, build that. It's fine. And anyway, like I said, there's my soapbox speech. But it's tough. It's tough living in this area, and I don't want to continue living here. I'd like to move at some point, but I'm not sure where to move to. Nebraska, maybe. Kansas. No, not Kansas. God, I'm terrified of tornadoes. Oh, where's Where's James when you're talking about James? I'm pretty sure this is his photo. And one of my favorite photos. I love this one. Tommy, honestly, man, if it wasn't for my career, you know, I I love the idea of living in the country. Wow. I grew up in the country, you know, so it's like city living is not really for me. I don't like having neighbors. I don't like any of that. I like to be by myself, you know. So hopefully one day. All right, Tommy, Brian, Simon. I've seen your comments, but let me put this out there as a subject, okay? And this is based on what Tommy said. I have a theory, and it's just a theory. I'm kind of asking around and I'm poking and I'm kicking over rocks, right? I believe that people that grew up on well water as opposed to city water that has a ton of fluoride, obviously, you know, and that sort of thing. If you've done the studies on fluoride, you see how it affects the pineal gland and your third eye and your whatever else. So the people that I encounter that are Bigfoot believers, that are alien believers, that are, you know, deeper thinkers, willing to go down the rabbit hole and things like that, they are the people that have not been exposed to city water their whole lives, or bottled water, or whatever you want to say. They've been more spring water, well water, that sort of thing. So you guys feel free to throw out your opinions here. Did you grow up on well water, or were you drinking city water your whole lives? Yeah, I mean iron. Yeah, if you're drinking well water, especially in Florida, you're drinking iron. There's no way. All right. Hey, positive vibes to James. I hope he feels better. See, well water, well water. See, my theory is building here. You know? I mean, I think there's something to it. I think that people that avoid city water their whole lives, um, they have a better access to their pineal gland, which they're able to be more spiritual, able to sort of think outside the box, go down that rabbit hole. So, I, I think there's something to it. Yeah, sure. Let James know we're thinking about him. Okay. I love this picture. I think this is very cool. And then look over here. There's something else in that picture too. So I appreciate that, Brian. I appreciate you for saying that. It's true. You know, um, I have my opinions as well as anyone, but I don't try to like segregate people for having beliefs, you know. But I'll tell you what, look at this picture, guys. I know some of you guys are new here, so I'm sharing this picture again. Um, this is Bigfoot World, Kathy Westerman. You'll get, you'll hear that name quite a bit. This is in her backyard, okay? If you can show me a better picture of a cloaked Bigfoot or at least a hiding Bigfoot, feel free, show me, please. This is 100% a Bigfoot in Kathy Westerman's backyard. I'll tell you what's cooler than this picture, which I don't have on me, is the zoomed out version of this picture. You wouldn't know this dude's there. Like literally, it's just like they're hidden so efficiently. I think what you're seeing, Tommy, is the cranial ridge, which is right there. I think that it has a protruding cranial ridge. And I think that's that's what looks like a hat to you, you know? You know, Simon, I've heard stories from certain Vietnam vets that I would take their word over other people. That they've seen prints in the snow that stop. They just stop. Explain that. Explain how you track prints in the snow and they just disappear. I dig this picture. This is a new one that just came. Well, newer that just came out. Surfaced recently. This one reminds me of the big red picture from West Virginia. Well, thank you for sharing. What was that? Chu Perez? Um, definitely sounds like a legit experience. New Jersey, huh? Yeah, I believe that. There's a lot of wooded area in New Jersey that people don't talk about. Um, and I was one of those. I actually drove through there, and I was like, wow, it's really rural. But when you think about New Jersey, all you think about is like like Trenton or these other, big cities in New Jersey, like um, the hell's the Jersey Shore and stuff like that. All right, D Rob, thanks for joining us. We'll be back here in 2 weeks. Yeah, Tommy, I've heard a lot about rock apes, in the Vietnam era. We'll see you, D Rob. Have a good night. It's funny you say that, Simon. I have a video, and it's somewhere on the Bigfoot Input Facebook, I believe, of this branch. And there's nothing around it. No possible reason, no. And it's moving, like you say, waving at you. Just up and down, up and down, up and down. And there's no momentum, no wind, no nothing that should be making it move, but it's just going up and down. So there's a video of it. I think Kathy's probably already seen it. She could vouch for me. But yeah, if you go on our blog on Facebook, you will see that video. Yeah. Good night, D Rob. Thank you. Kevin, thanks for joining us, man. Yeah, absolutely. I've heard that their screams are like infrasound, and that they actually can physically affect you with their voice. Did anyone agree with me that this looks like this Bigfoot is taking a shit in the woods? Like, it just looks like to me it looks like it's sitting. So I mean, it could be just sitting, I guess, for recreation purposes. But I mean, like that to me looks like a knee. So I think it's like sitting down on a log or something. Matthew believes that Bigfoot is Cain. Cain versus Abel, which I don't know, kind of puts Bigfoot in a Nephilim type of existence. Brian, you have Bigfoot poop. You're sitting on poop, my man, and you haven't submitted it. Like, what's going on? Give that shit to Dr. Meldrum or Ketchum. Let him do some DNA on it. It's true. That's true. The photographer would have had some poop to collect, but whether they did or not, I don't know. Yeah, Tommy, come on. Tell me this guy's not taking a shit right now. Like, look at that. I guess this could be leg. Let's say that this is like this tree's coming across. This is obviously a branch here. Let's say that this is leg and he's walking, but still, he doesn't seem to be standing his full height. Like unless this picture is taken from way far away, but the tree doesn't look like it's taken from that far away. It looks like he's squatting to me. I get it, Brian. It's like when I was a kid, you had to read the shampoo bottle. Now these Bigfoots, man, they got nothing. They got nothing to go on. All right, look, guys. I know that you're rolling off on this religious conversation, and I don't begrudge you for that. I'm not willing to divulge into any of that, being a non-religious person. We did a video about Nephilim a while back, and I encourage you to go check it out and see what you think. I was proud of the video that we did as sort of an objective standpoint. I don't believe that Bigfoot is Cain. I don't believe that Bigfoot has anything to do with God or any sort of spiritual type of thing at this point in my life. But I still welcome all opinions, So I think that's important. You can't be shut off to certain opinions, but. I can't believe it either, Tommy. I mean, I'm hurt and offended and thrilled that you just became a member of the group. If I'm honest with you, look, we started out on Facebook. Okay, we started out as just a Facebook group. So if you dig deep, go back deep because there's two different things on Facebook. There's a blog and there's a group. So if you really dig deep back on the blog, you're going to find some wild shit that, on our channel here on Facebook or here on YouTube. And that's where we started. And then we moved to YouTube. And then once we moved to YouTube, we used Facebook and TikTok and Instagram as a way to advertise our videos on YouTube. So you're probably not missing too much unless you really feel like digging. All right, Brian, I just got to ask. How did you come across said Dookie? I'm curious. Three-toed tracks. Interesting. I've heard of 5 and 4. Three, we might be talking about a different creature altogether. Ah, here's the story, Brian. Okay. That's what I was wondering. I was like, how did you come across these specimens? So it's because you're baiting them, which, I won't have a moral discussion about that. I don't care. That's not my forte, whether you feed Bigfoot or you don't. So, Simon, my personal belief is that there are groups of Bigfoot that consider humans as a food source. So, you wouldn't hear about that because those people are dead and eaten. I don't think that every Bigfoot group considers humans that way, but there are some. There must be. I mean, there's groups of humans that consider other humans as food source. So you're telling me that there's no Bigfoot that consider humans as food sources. So, um, yeah, I don't believe there's a lot of like attacking just for the sake of attacking. But I think the people that are attacked, they don't get to tell their story. They might. They might, Brian. Gugways are typically just a Sasquatch creature that's more ape DNA than human DNA. So, me, like chimpanzees, like they're very cannibalistic. It's not taboo to every creature other than us. So, it's possible. Cayman, welcome. I don't particularly remember you now. Sorry. Yeah, Brian, they do, and like they get written off as all sorts of things, like they, fell down some cliff and they died of natural causes or whatever else the situation may be. Anything other than Bigfoot. Hello, Josiah. Yeah, of course. The what is that called? The Dyatlov Pass incident. I totally believe that Sasquatch related, although it's been explained a million times in like a million different ways. But I think that was Sasquatch related. Exactly, Brian. It was bears. It was always bears. No matter what happened, it was bears. And apparently they have opposable thumbs to screw back on peanut butter, like jar lids. I get it. those people on Dyatlov Pass, they experience something that we'll hopefully never understand. It's just a fear. They cut their tents from the inside, and they ran out in their underwear into the snow. They left the safety and warmth of their tents in their underwear to run out into the snow, and they ended up with crushed chests and tongues ripped out and things like that. And it's been explained, scientifically with, well, earthquakes and other ridiculous shit. I'm sorry. It was very obviously a Sasquatch attack. Yeah, you're right, Tommy. I have that picture somewhere. I mean, I'm not going to go digging for it right now, but you're right. There was a creature filmed by the lady that was taking all the pictures. Yeah, you're right, Kathy. Like that little boy, he disappeared for like 3 days, and he came back and said that a bear had brought him back and taken care of him for 3 days. Yeah, right. Like, look, I'm not gonna say that a bear won't show compassion. Like that is totally possible. Bears, chimps, gorillas, whatever, can adopt a child and show them compassion. But he said this bear carried him from place to place, and it wasn't a bear. Come on now, it was like let's use some common sense. Um, I think that science can only use what it knows, and like that would be a bear. But a bear didn't walk on two legs carrying this kid from place to place. All right, everybody can say good night to Josiah. He's a 9-year-old in this chat at 10:30 at night. He needs to go to bed. All right. Good night to you too, sir. Yeah. Yeah, he is the next generation. He should come back in a few years. Yeah, I feel you, Brian. Like, I don't need that sort of heat, so the kids got to go. They should go to bed. Welcome, Jeremiah. No, Brian, I'm kicking him out as soon as I see him come in. We had a night in here one night. It was a few weeks ago, maybe like 2 months ago. We had like 3,000 people stop by the chat, and 2,500 of them were under the age of 14. I mean, they were just kids, and it got stupid crazy. You know, it was like, so I started just blocking people. It was nuts. And since then, I usually try to keep these chats to 18 and up. You know, that way it doesn't get weird. But sometimes people slip in, so. Red dot. You got Megan's Law. Tommy, if you're listening, I apologize. I think I accidentally hid you from the channel because I was trying to like weed out these like 12-year-olds that were coming in. I sincerely apologize. Yeah, they always talk about an avalanche or, some sort of nuclear thing or like whatever, you know? Jeremiah, as far as the name of the game, I would have to say that we are truth seekers, right? We try to stay on the logical side of things, but some of the things that we come across are very paranormal, and yeah, I don't really have an agenda necessarily, just coming across the truth. We like to dig into pictures and videos and do analysis, and whatever comes up comes up. So we're very open to everything. All right, guys, we're going on over 2 hours here, so I'm going to say good night. I appreciate everybody joining us. We will be back here in 2 weeks. That's how we do it, every 2 weeks, so twice a month. So plan to see us sometime in May. We will have dropped a new video by then. I appreciate everyone joining us. It's been a good time. And I hope to see everybody back here for the next live. Thank you, Tommy. Thank you for joining us. Oh, it's awesome. All right, we'll see you next week, Tommy. And everyone else, we'll see you then. All right. This is J Mac, and I'm out.